Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Howard Stutz joins us. He's the senior reporter covering gaming for the Nevada Independent, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
The winning is about to hit a whole nother level during the $100,000 March Mayhem giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $15,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Don't miss the mayhem. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes and on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones, and it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Howard Stutz. He is the senior reporter for the Nevada Independent. Pleasure to have you back on the program, sir.
Thanks for having me on, Sam. Glad to be with you.
Thank you. All right, so is Derek Stevens a genius or what? Because he comes up with this plan to match the value of the Canadian dollar with the U.S. dollar and what sells 15,000 room nights because of it. Why did every other property and the convention authority not all go, this is a great idea, let's all do it?
Derek is his own boss, so that's why he can do it. He doesn't have a board of directors to have to bring this in front of and do this type of event. No, Derek's smart, and he's a smart businessman. He's shown the way to downtown Las Vegas, and this is he was always supportive of Canada way before. He has that bar, the D, Bar Canada. He put that in a while back. Maybe I think around the time the Golden Knights were just kicking off. So, yeah, it's a smart move. We'll see if it works. Look, Canadian visitation is still down. We'll get airport numbers again at the end of this month for February, but they've been down. It hasn't been coming back. So maybe it wasn't very good publicity for Canadian visitation when a Canadian tourist decided to kidnap a flamingo at the Flamingo Las Vegas last week. I'm sure you saw that story. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, it's slowly coming back, but look, you need people like Derek to think outside the box and do things. And downtown is, like Boyd Gaming markets to Hawaiians. Hawaiians are still coming to Vegas. That's what, and they come to the Boyd properties downtown. So that's why downtown continues to, kind of keep its head above water and all this.
Well, I keep its head above water. I think it's thriving at this point in time, and good for them. One of the things that came out of the recent report from the Convention Authority was that mid-level and the low end of the market is still struggling. And the question I have is, and I think we've talked about this before, you can't build $3 and $4 billion properties and not charge a decent amount of money for people to come to them. But at the same time, doesn't volume mean something? And, is the only property that's really dealing with that is Circus Circus.
Right. Right. And I won't say anything about Circus right now, but like it's i- yes, that's something we didn't know when the convention authority came out with the visitor profile yesterday. It was not a surprise. High end, the people are gambling more. We knew that, that especially when we saw the gaming numbers for January and at the end of the year, volume's up. People are wagering on baccarat, the high end play. They're paying for those customers are paying for the room prices. I think people are just right now with you know economy, economic issues, what's going on with this, with the war in Iran. Um, Gas prices have spiked tremendously all over the place. So people are staying closer to home. The middle market customers. I think that's where some point we may see some room rates drop. We saw room rates drop all last year. Let's remember that, Sam. It was like, I think that if I go back and look at the numbers, average daily room rate was down like 5, 6, 7% for the entire year. Didn't it kick back up a little bit in January? So maybe we'll see if it's going to fluctuate. I think this is just something we're going to see throughout the year, that the market in Las Vegas is going to fluctuate up and down based on events, based on outside forces. And there's nothing the convention authority can do all they want to try to bring people in. And it's great they're doing that. And we'll see what changes and how this works out down the road.
All right. So also, is there not a reality that we had such a boom after COVID that we've returned to a more normal level of tourism in Las Vegas?
I think so. I mean, the COVID, I remember the recession. You and I remember the recession. It took years for the market to build back, for Las Vegas, Reno, everybody to build back up after the recession as things got better. COVID is a much different story. We went from zero to 90 in so quickly. People came back quickly. So yeah, was some fall off maybe because of that, since, we got so high and now they've kind of dropped back a little bit. But I think, as time goes on, yeah, it's COVID was much different than where we're at now. It's a much different story.
All right, now let's change the topic to the hottest news story, which is the prediction markets. Would you just very briefly explain what a prediction market is versus going to a casino, if there is a difference?
Best way to describe it is this: you and I want to place a bet at a sports book. Okay, we're going to bet on the UNLV UNR game. Okay, I think UNLV is going to win. You think UNR is going to win. So we're betting with the book. We're betting with the house. In a prediction market, in a sense, you and I are betting against each other. And the prediction markets take a cut off the top. So they're taking, like 2%, whatever it is. That's why we saw with Super Bowl, for example, betting was down in Nevada for the Super Bowl. Prediction markets, Kalshi said they took over $1 billion in wagers event contracts on the Super Bowl this year. So that's the difference. It is sports betting. I don't care how they want to couch it. It's sports betting. You're betting on odds, whether or not you're betting with the house or betting against each other. That's what it is. They say these prediction markets, they're regulated by the federal government, by the CFTC. And the state, but now we're getting rulings from various state judges. I mean, you and I talked about this back in December. State judges are now looking at this. Ohio yesterday said, Kalshi, all these prediction markets, you're violating state law. State law says you have to be regulated by the state and pay tax to the state on sports bets. So get out or get licensed. And I think we've seen that now a little bit in Nevada. We've had federal state judges here, I think one particularly up in Carson City, ruled against Polymarket, ruled against a couple other companies. There's a case sitting right now, the longest one with Kalshi, that's sitting. So that's where it's happening. I think, look, this is what we're going to see until the U.S. Supreme Court finally weighs in on it. And I think that's where it's going to end up.
Really, the Supreme Court, because there was talk on CDC gaming reports, your old boss, bosses there, that it was heading to the Supreme Court. That seems wild that they would even take that case up.
I think they're going to have to at some point, as so many of these states. There's like 20 different states, I think more than 20 different states have legal action against prediction markets because they're coming into states. Remember that legalized sports betting went through all the rigmaroles since 2018 to legalize sports betting, to tax it, to put in a regulatory system. That's where, and then you have these, cowboy I should say, as Governor Chris Christie called them, rogue cowboys coming in and just bypassing, the state regulations. That's where I think the Supreme Court has to weigh in, and we'll see what they end up doing with this Supreme Court. I'm not going to even try to venture a guess on what might happen.
Um, you know, another question that comes up, and I haven't really seen this discussed, is at this point, where is all this additional money coming from? Because I'm not hearing gaming companies complaining that they're not bringing in the revenue. You were just saying earlier that they're making more revenue. Is this money that's coming from, in the past, illegal markets? They used to be called the mafia, but illegal gaming, and now it's being used?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Are you talking about, the gaming numbers in Nevada?
No, I'm talking about, say that there was, I'm just making up a number here. Say there was $100 million a year being spent in casinos and $100 million in illegal bookmaking, right? Which still is a huge industry. Is the money that's going to these prediction markets coming from what was the illegal markets?
No.
Do we know that?
No, it's coming from people, just, people betting on Kalshi. They may not have sports betting. There's 10, 11 states without sports betting still. Especially California and Texas, two of the biggest, states in the country. That's where some of this is coming, but then they're getting shut out. They're fighting the tribes. Remember, the tribes in California, they're not going to let Kalshi. They're fighting big time on Kalshi. It's not really. Maybe it was money that was going to the offshore sports books. That's what's going into Kalshi now. People are staying away from the offshore books, but there are customers here. It's a different, because you may not have access to it. That's where it's coming from. And Kalshi's doing a huge marketing campaign. I mean, they're spending millions and millions of dollars on commercials and all over the place. So that's I think where it's coming from. It's not coming from illegal markets. I think it's coming from people that are just maybe there is some illegal stuff. I don't really know, but I'm just saying it's coming from average people, people that want to wager on it.
Okay, and I'm seeing blown up on my phone all the time now, in different newspaper ads, in different things online, ads for Kalshi. So no, 100% there. So I think we talked about this the last time we got together, which was that, when we saw the taxi industry and Uber and Lyft going at it in Nevada, for example, as they were across the country and around the world, these prediction markets are not little minimal players. They have billions of dollars to be able to spend on lawyers and lobbyists and all the rest of it. Do you think we're going to get to a point where whatever the Supreme Court might rule, whatever the judges might rule, that these companies like Kalshi are going to have the money to sustain themselves and become legitimate businesses that the gaming industry will have to deal with as a competitor?
I don't have a good answer on that. I don't even want to make a prediction on that.
I can offer you some good odds on that.
But honestly, it's because sports betting came into these states and have gone through, did all the right things, got licensed, pay taxes. Unless Kalshi starts paying state taxes, it's not. I just don't know how this is going to play out. I think that's going to be it's a states' rights issue. I think I'm not a lawyer. I'm just playing one here on TV, but it's just it seems to be a states' rights issue, and that's pretty clear and simple in this whole thing, in this whole matter. I don't care what they want to call it. They call themselves, event contracts and this and that. It's sports betting. Anybody looking at it, it's sports betting. I'm sorry to, I'm not going to, that's just the way I see it too. And I think others have seen it that way also.
Well, the other part of it is too is it's not just betting on sports. I mean, people were betting on when the war was going to start with Iran.
Well, there was a lot of issues around that because there was so much you don't know who's making these wagers on Kalshi, and did they have some type of inside information? And that's the biggest problem. There's inside information that you don't get. Look at all the scandals that have come up with recently with the NBA, with college, with basketball players, and they've caught the sports books, the legal sports betting industry has caught that, over time. Because they have the tools in place. Kalshi, I don't think they care. They just care. All they care about is, their cut of how much is bet on whatever event they've put up there, whether it's a sporting event or the Oscars or world or current events. That's all they care about.
In a simple mind, I would say, well, if they just agreed to pay taxes to the states, then the states would be happy. But the Nevada Gaming Control Board and the New Jersey Gaming Control Board are not going to go for that at all. Because if you're not licensed,
they got to be licensed. They got to be regular. They're just like every other company. They've got to come in and be licensed. That's just and go through the process. Everybody else did, and I think that's what it boils down to. They need to do the same thing. Come in and go through the process.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back much more with Howard Stutz after this timeout.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
Sponsors are needed for the Greenhouse Project's annual Grateful Harvest Dinner, taking place Monday, September 21st at Nashville Social Club in Carson City. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. For 17 years, the Greenhouse Project has provided agricultural education for students and fresh produce to our community's food insecure. Every dollar you give helps us continue this important, life-changing mission. Go to CarsonCityGreenhouse.org to learn how you can help. Join us in growing a lasting legacy.
The road to riches leads straight to the Carson Valley Inn. Cash drawings Thursday and Saturdays. Over 480 winners. Score up to $15,000 weekly. Plus one $10,000 cash winner and the $20,000 guaranteed grand prize giveaways. Free meals, free play, and more. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Howard Stutz. He's the senior reporter and has been covering gaming forever for the Nevada Independent. Just one more thing here on the prediction markets. Mick Mulvaney, who was former acting chief of staff for Donald Trump, has now headed up a coalition called Gambling is Not Investing. And as you mentioned, Chris Christie, former governor of New Jersey, is also involved. This thing is just not slowing down.
Oh, it's the different people that have moved on different sides. Sarah Slane, a friend of mine, who would basically help get sports betting legalized when she was with the AGA, then became a consultant for sports betting for leagues and teams as states moved along and legalized it. She went to work for Kalshi. Chris Christie, he's angry. He was really one of the primary drivers to get sports betting legalized when he was governor of New Jersey, because it was the New Jersey lawsuit that went through all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court that got sports betting legalized. He's angry, and the AGA brought him in because he sees what people are trying to get around the get around all this. Mick Mulvaney getting involved was fascinating because, yeah, like you said, he was Trump's chief of staff for a while. Trump's son, Donald Jr., is involved with Kalshi and with Polymarket. So, so we know where that administration sits and where it stands with prediction markets. So yeah, the players involved in this. There's big money being paid to be a consultant in this whole thing.
Gee, that's brand new, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's talk about the M Resort, one of my favorite properties in Southern Nevada. They've just completed their expansion. They've got expanded convention center facilities, and the president of the property is talking about how it is just zoomed business there. It's amazing. That is such a beautiful property, and it's still stunning to me how much difference convention space can make, even when they've just added that 25,000 square feet back when Anthony Marnell III was in charge, and now this is an even bigger expansion. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Jay Snowden, the CEO of Penn Entertainment, which owns M Resort, operates it. He said in the last earnings call that with the space that's opened in December, they got the two biggest group businesses they've ever had in that month. Because what happened was they had to turn away group business because they didn't have enough space for it. That's why they expanded, double the size of the hotel, added more group event space. They didn't add to the casino. They didn't need to. They added to the hotel and the group space because this is, and it's funny because M is now about 800 plus rooms. That's the number of rooms. That's the second largest hotel in the Penn Entertainment chain, and they have 40 properties all around the U.S. Their largest hotel is in Louisiana, L'Auberge down in Lake Charles. So yeah, they see this as it's their business to get their customers from all over the U.S. to Las Vegas. Want to come to Las Vegas? M's not a long drive from the center of the Strip. They can get people there if they're, they want to come in for the Raiders games. It's a very big Raiders hangout. They're right near the Raiders practice facility. So yeah, Penn's wanted to do this expansion for a while. They bought the property back in the late 2000s, I guess it was, I can't remember the date, but it was when Marnell had trouble and with the financing for it, and they picked it up. So I think there's more room to expand there. We may see that eventually, but yeah, you're right. This is funny because it is in terms of cost, with $206 million, that's not a lot to spend on expansion. And it's already showing its benefits, just like one month out of one quarter.
Incredible. And they bought that property for $235 million, and it cost $1 billion to build. So they are way ahead. They're in Phil Ruffin territory. Let's take another break and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Howard Stutz. He's the senior reporter for the Nevada Independent. You did a really nice piece on Truckee Gaming and Ferenzoni as he expands even further into Southern Nevada. Just a quick thought on Ferenzoni.
Oh, Truckee Gaming's done wonderful up in Northern Nevada, and Farrick was with the old Herbst Gaming for a long time, and so he saw the opportunity here in Las Vegas. He has Club Fortune, which is out near Henderson. He bought the old Poker Palace. That's, as he described it, if Circus and Excalibur got together and had a baby. That's what it was. He's remodeling it to become Club Fortune North, because it's out in North Las Vegas, and he'll do well. He's an operator. He's an old school operator, knows what his customers want, came in, took over Rail City again, and he's working to get that up and going. So yeah, he's an old school guy, and that's what's great for him to be here in Las Vegas. I'm glad I got to see him more than once. I try to see him every time I'm up in Northern Nevada. So
Well, what's great for us is to see you on the program. We always enjoy having you here. Thank you so much.
I'll be up in Northern Nevada at some point here in the spring, I think. So I'll look you up.
We got a chair for you right here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Howard, and we'll be right back.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Check out our archives section on NevadaNewsmakers.com. Great interviews going back as far as 2002. Really worth watching. We'll see you in the next one.